Insta fame is insta fame.
Fame in new artists is definitely the devil. It just happens.
All that positive energy can turn into negative energy.
Just having mental breakdowns every day, V.
Because they're not already straight in their head.
The public is going to want to connect with you.
It might not even like you.
Whoa, this is crazy. It just happened fast.
That's the world we're living in. You know, I witnessed an artist that I know that put out a record, let's just say, in the month of February. And by November of that year, that person was making $30,000 or $40,000 a show. And then one day that person, when the record did really well, had to visit a radio station. And the radio station gave this person 3 or 4 pages of drops to do. You know, Christmas, Thanksgiving is coming up. Hi, this is so-and-so on Thanksgiving on KX, whatever the station call numbers and letters are. They did the thing. The record company came. The record company said, hey, listen, we don't have enough money in the budget to send you to every radio station, but here's what we got to do. Now we're going to give you a paper this thick with drops from Kentucky, Nebraska, Iowa, St. Louis, Little Rock, places that's playing your record. That artist looked at that person like they was crazy. I'm not doing that. But this is what it takes for your record to play in these stations. We got to do this. Everybody's done it. Jay-Z has done it, Puff's done it, you know, Jimmy, everybody's done it. So you ain't trying to do that. That's what it takes to make it, but you ain't trying to do it. But then there's another artist be like, all right, cool, let me get a Red Bull, roll me up something, let's knock this out. Who you want to rock with? I want to rock with that guy, not this newfangled dude that, listen, man, either you play my record or you don't.
What happened to that guy who wouldn't do it?
I didn't mention his name. So that means no success.
The dream comes true, and it happens quick. You're doing shows, you're getting money, you're famous. It's a big first record or a big second record. You're big. And that person didn't get to experience gradual progression to fame. It just happens. I think that those people have a hard time maintaining how they deal with the fame.
Insta fame is insta fame. It's about what you're willing to do. I mean, some of these kids expect insta fame with their records. They want insta fame. I mean, there's actually chicks who purposely go do sex tapes for the fame because that's the world we're living in. Somebody who gets insta fame, they can't handle it because it's insta fame. You understand my point? It's like there are people who got groomed properly, who f***ed up. They got the label behind them, good management, good team, and they still f***ing up.
I mean, is having mental breakdowns every day, V. You can see what's going on. You can see artists that's not hanging in there. The fame is beating them. They can't take it. Whether it's drugs, getting in crazy relationships. You know, the fame could really turn somebody crazy.
I got really popular in like the mid-'80s. And now I had album covers and they start recognizing me. The fame is a drug. You know, just the feeling that you get from being popular is addictive. You come on stage and they go, we love you. You walk in the room and everybody goes, oh, that's him. That right there is the addiction. You needed them to say that. Don't sit in the mirror all day going, they love me. Because honestly, they might not love you. They might just love what you do. If they got to know you, they might not even like you.
I've seen a lot of rappers get famous really fast, and like all that positive energy can turn into negative energy. Definitely seen a lot of people go from being like a totally nice, normal, rational person to the most egotistical, self-centered you've ever met in your life, and then 6 months later, they're like back to just, you know, being the thirstiest motherfucker on earth.
A lot of young artists get messed up because they're not already straight in their head of like who they are. So when you become artists, you become successful, you start to make a lot of money, you become that person of who you think you're supposed to be. And so when you realize like, oh my God, that person isn't me, then you up. So now you like, you just confused, but you confused yourself.
Fame in new artists is definitely the devil. A lot of artists I've seen change, and it takes a certain type of person to be able to tell them they changed because their right-hand man or their best friend might not tell them that.
You start to hear people say like when the popularity declines, they walk into a room of people and they don't get recognized or they don't get treated special, and they say, do you know who I am? It's like, how dare you let me stand here and all you people don't acknowledge me because you know the I am. And the worst thing in the world is to watch a person who feels like they should be a certain level of famous, to watch them solicit themselves to a room full of people. I'm so-and-so, I did such and such. And everybody goes, I don't know. Like whatever you did as famous is forgotten. That's like, that hurts.
Where I'm at right now is just like, I've never cared about this. I always been famous in my hood. I always been famous in my community. I always been famous in my high school. I'm famous in the studio. I'm famous in Atlanta. Everywhere I go, I'm famous. The right people pay attention to me. That's all that matters, not the wrong people. So I'm too busy to even give a who cares or pays attention.
You as an artist and as a person have to recognize that you chose a profession that's part of entertainment. And if you continue to choose to be in front of cameras, then you are opening up and accessing yourself to fame and to be known to the public, and the public is going to want to connect with you. My approach is like, communicate with people. If you're saying, you know what, I'm on this phone conversation, I'll take this picture after I finish. That's respectful. Sometimes people can forget to give you respect, but at the same token, as a person that is in the public eye, you gotta remember to give people respect too.
We don't act bougie or nothing and be like, nah, bro. We take pictures with everybody. Yeah, we just be like, okay. We know how to move though. Like we know how to go to the mall, like with hoodies and stuff. The adjustment was just like reacting to everybody. We were just like, whoa, this is crazy. It just happened fast, and we love it.
I've had people here in Atlanta, like people listen to my music a lot. Like I've been in the grocery store literally just minding my business, and a girl literally dropped her bags and was like, holy shit, I listen to your music every day. It kind of blows you away, but just that times 1,000 people, like that with if I had to do that with everybody that I ran across, like I experienced that just going around with Tip. He can't go nowhere without people bothering him. He's tried to keep a level of normalcy where as somebody like Kanye, he really can't go anywhere. Like I can definitely see how that can drive somebody crazy.
If you do get famous, my advice would be get caught more up in the business of what makes you famous. Stick to that instead of trying to be famous.